That's what happens when you listen.
I would say, it's their choice. It's their choice. The person who is working, that free will. You know what I'm saying?
I like that attitude.
I think he kind of answered that.
Sorry, who did you want me to engage with, Andrew?
I just wanted to sum up.
Yeah. If this Andrew's not there, I think I can respond to the points that he was trying to make. And that point, there's an issue with it because what you're trying to say is, they can be transgender if they want, but I'm worried about my kids seeing them transgender because they might copy it. That argument does too much because you can use that same argument to say there shouldn't be Muslims in the country. There shouldn't be anybody in the country that's doing something that you don't want your child to be because they might see it. So it just does too much. Like you can't just ban everything that you don't want your child to be. Just ban everything, stop it.
Chris, I don't want my daughter going into a public bathroom and she thinking she's seeing other women private parts.
You're a 12-year-old. You don't have a daughter. He's not 12. Dude, this kid is literally 12, Andrew. Like, no, he's not 12. I'm sorry, Andrew. You check his ID?
Did you check your ID?
I can hear the voice of this person.
I sold an alcohol.
Oh my god, you have no idea how old they are.
Okay. HLC, how old are you? Where's he at?
I'm 31.
He's a mod. We can't make him a mod. Let's not do that.
I'm 31, he says.
Yeah, I think he's, that checks out.
Before we go on to that, wait, please. The argument was changed because the argument Alex was making wasn't somebody in the changing rooms, whatever. You can have other rules so that we don't expose anybody to anybody. He was just saying, just out and about, I don't want transgender people because my kid might see that. And that
there can be gradations though, right, Chris? So obviously somebody could say, look, I don't want trans people to be near my kids because I don't want them to, I'm saying somebody could have this position where they could be like, well, certain things are fine, right? They could have a turban on or something like that and, a hijab or whatever. And maybe that's not an issue. I don't have an issue with my kids seeing that. But I do have an issue with certain things, right? So somebody could just have a gradation on what they think is inappropriate, right?
Yeah, someone can have a gradation appropriate, right? You can do something about, okay, maybe let's just make it such that anybody, whether they're a man or a woman, can't be like naked in front of your child. You can do that. But based on, I don't want my kid to see it, it's too weak. If it was like it's harmful in another way.
No, it ain't.
Wait, so sexual assault ain't weak? Like what?
No, but you can't show that once you're a transgender, you're more likely to like sexually assault people. Like that's not the. Yes, there are transgender that assault
how
people,
do you choose
but
to
it's
find
not
out
the
about
basis
private
for that.
They ask you, the parent. They ask you, the parent, about private parts. You, the parent, supposed to take them to the public bathroom. They trust in you and the private parts you got, and everybody else, and they got the same private parts.
Oh, no. I grant you that. You can make rules to make children safer in the changing rooms. You can do that. That was different from what Alex was saying. Alex wasn't talking about dangers or they might get attacked. He was just saying, I don't want my child to see that so they don't copy that. Andrew, remember that. That's the argument I was addressing. He doesn't want his child to see transgender so his child wouldn't copy that. It wasn't about safety.
But your answer wasn't very.
Because based on that, you can say there shouldn't be Muslims because your child might see that, might copy that. That's the argument I was addressing. It wasn't about safety. The other guy, HLC guy,
you should limit it.
That
ain't it, man. Hey, that ain't it, man. Man, it's female and male on this planet, man. A woman supposed to conduct like a woman, and a man supposed to conduct himself like a man, man.
You see his underlying argument, right? Like he thinks they're too feminine. Like the real issue you have now comes out.
Yeah.
I think the real issue we all have is that we don't want them in our private quarters because we have youth.
Nigga, you was not 32.
Yeah.
So there's levels of assimilation is what you're talking about.
You didn't have any adults exposing
don't like
them in front of
and they bullies.
whether they're men or women.
Yeah, they bullies too. Yeah, I'd have seen them. They bullied a white woman one time. She was a beauty pageant, and Perez helped. He asked her, "What do you think marriage supposed to be between?" And she told the truth. She was like, I don't mean to offend anybody, but the way I was raised, key word, I was raised,
Right.
Marriage supposed to be between a man and a woman. Why she say that?
Right.
Oh, man.
Right. Yeah, but I think if we start normalizing, trans people, I am worried they're just going to come while we're sleeping and put their genitals on our faces while we're sleeping.
Andrew, there's levels of assimilation. What we need to get back to is passing standards. The real issue is we don't like ugly people, and there's too many ugly people that are transitioning. So if we could raise the passing standards, then everything will be okay. So why can't we just do that?
What's the question? Chris, you know which one it is. They run it in the chillism. It's something like if you have somebody who looks like
What's Mike's thing? A gorilla or a man?
Yeah, well, no, that's a separate thing. But somebody who looks like Kim Kardashian physically or whatever. Yeah. Not to say that I'm not advocating to be the prime, but anyway, somebody who looks like Kim Kardashian, but the chromosomes are that of a male, and then or somebody who looks like a male, as far as typically, right? What we would associate, but have female chromosomes. Mm-hmm. I think somebody was saying if you what was the question? You had to date one of them, or if you had to. What's that?
I'm just saying I can see where this is going. They're gonna ask which one would you prefer to.
Yeah. Something like that.
People that lost their life for stuff like that, man.
But
people that literally lost their life, man, like for stuff like that. Being tricked.
Yo, you try to trick me, you don't lose your life.
Yeah, that happened to me.
No, it really, Andrew, it really just comes down to there's no issue because you can pass. But when you have 40, 6'3", with stubble in the men's room,
both of you, please.
I got you. So the point is,
but another thing though
is like,
this my last.
Well, hold on, Alex, real quick. If somebody had, so the question is which one of the two, if you had to be intimate and date one or whatever, which one would it be? And it's an interesting question, right? Because I think it kind of brings out what you're.
Yeah,
It's really not.
It's really not. Wait, hold on, Alex. You have one or two choices: Kim Kardashian body, but male chromosomes, or Arnold Schwarzenegger body, but female chromosomes.
I would take Arnold.
It'd be neither.
I would rather have Arnold.
Hey, listen, man. I'm a God-fearing man. I know what it really is.
So which one is it? So which one?
Neither.
No, you have to pick one.
No, I ain't got to do shit. I told you, Andrew.
It's called a hypothetical, and
man.
Yeah. Look,
Alex is appealing to the fact that he has the right to do what he wants. But Andrew, I already had that experience. I ran that experiment in real life. Right, Alex? And I did hook up with a hot girl who had a fake vagina.
Yes, we heard. Alex, isn't that true though?
Another thing.
You can do what you want to do, right, Alex?
Hold up.
So can other people, right?
Hold up.
Right?
You can't manipulate somebody into thinking that you have a vagina if you actually have a gaping ball.
Hold on. Brother JJ hasn't said much. He's asking you a question, Alex, and then you can make your submission. Can you answer Brother JJ's question, and we'll get Matt and everybody else that came on stage. We'll get them in. Go ahead, Brother JJ.
Do I have to repeat myself, Alex?
Yeah, I think you do. There was a lot of people talking. Go ahead. Just ask Alex.
Alex?
Said it again.
Hold on.
Yeah, Alex, you said that you don't have to pick. You can do what you want to do. And so can other people, right?
I can do what I want to do.
But it depends on what you do.
Whether or not you want them to.
You're doing something to your whole.
You can't take a shit on the street.
You know what I'm saying? But I got a choice whether or not I want to.
And people can't identify how they want because you don't like it.
Not if they're gonna manipulate other people and try to.
I don't like it.
Hold on, guys.
I don't like it. It's
Look,
because
we're trying to keep it fairly loose, but just let Alex answer JJ, so they can identify how they want, right?
It ain't what I like. You know what I'm saying? It's what Yahweh like. You know what I'm saying? And not just that. Yeah,
I dig what you're saying, bro.
All of us, we have free will. We can do whatever we want to. I can walk out my house right now and kill somebody if I want to. If I want to, I can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's consequences here and when I go. So it depends.
So you're saying that Yahweh wouldn't like you to kill somebody,
You know.
and Yahweh wouldn't like people to identify how they want to.
I answered one of your questions, then I asked the other question you want me to answer. One thing I don't like about the LGB is that, for one, they try to use my people's struggle, civil rights and all that type of stuff. When they can't do that, that is an insult. Why? Because we didn't choose to look the way we look. We had not one choice in that. We just wanted like that. Like, okay, I'm this. They chose to be who they are. That's why it's a mental illness as well as choice.
So you say you choose a mental illness. Even if it was a mental illness, too, you're saying they chose that?
Yeah, they choose, man. It's a mental illness. You can't be wired right like that, man. You're not supposed to even be wired to like the opposite sex. Or even wanting to change your sex.
You think they can be born wired or wrong?
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
I think God works everybody.
You wanna know why? Because a child can be taught.
But hold on. The Bible does not.
That's why the daddy. Hold on.
Hold on, buddy.
That's why it's supposed to be a mama and a
daddy
in that home. Because when a little child come out, they show any feminine ways.
No, I'm agreeing with you, but you're saying
checking that shit, man.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, bro. But you're saying it's not even possible for them to be born fucked up. Like, it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong to be trained. If you got you want us look like that? They're born like that because the Bible says everyone has the original sin of Adam. So if we have his original sin, we're gonna come out fucked up.
Well, you gotta blame America, because for one thing, all the stuff they do to us, good stuff in our foods and stuff like that.
But I gotta say something real quick. This is really weird. So literally, David, there must be something going on, brother. I don't know if you want to call it in the spirit, or maybe just a premonition or something. But I was just thinking about you, Bub, and I was like, we need David in here. Oh, that's weird. That was today, so that's weird. Anyway, and not
the
to say
spirit is speaking through Andrew.
That'd be really weird. So I don't know. That's pretty strange that you just came in. But it's good to see you, David. And I heard you. If I use the term the young people use, you mogged Danny Philtalk. No, I don't know if that's the term. Anyway, you had a good debate with Danny and whatnot.
You know what mogged means?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
No. But do you think that the debate went well, David?
For the most part, yeah. There was some unfortunate miscommunication at first because it was set up as a theism versus atheism debate, and then we went live and James released the link as a Christianity versus atheism debate. So there was some talking past at first, but we got back on track, and after that, I think it went well.
Nice. Let me say this. It is good you're here, brother. And I actually don't think I've ever got your take on this issue. So we're actually we're talking about the pronouns, the pronouns, the p-nouns. Do you affirm people's preferred pronouns, or if you do, why not? And if you don't,
I'm an asshole.
Why not?
If I think you're male, I call you he, him. If I think you're female, I call you she, her.
Why?
What if you're not sure? But what if they correct you?
Yeah, so this will be
1 second. What if they correct you, David?
Don't care.
You don't give a fuck. Nice.
Dave, I just sent you a friend request.
Very good to hear from you, you little bitch.
Dave, I added you. Dave, you immaculate genius. I just added you as a friend.
You just say this, my friend. Well, my friend.
So if you're in the drive-through and the guy's like,
well, hold on.
"Hey, I'm actually I'm a dude," and he's like, "Fuck off,
Hold on, Alex.
girl."
So you can make that's you can make your point for sure. But David, here's the thing: there's been a lot of people that come up here that have been opposed to the affirming of the pronouns, right? And they have been less than stellar. Okay, now
I didn't really get a chance to make my.
No, I know, no. So, well, hold on, brother. Just hang tight.
Yeah, but Dave's here now.
Yeah, we're doing a little red carpet thing. Now y'all are garbage. No, I'm joking. I do love Brother Dave though, and I do want to give him a chance to speak. We'll come right back to you guys. Yeah, for sure. But David, what would be the case that you would make, Dave, that we shouldn't be affirming people's pronouns? Right, Dave.
Yeah, I guess so I don't like claim to be an expert on this, but my thinking, well, here's where I'm at with it. So I use pronouns like he and him to refer to males, and terms like she, her to refer to females. That's just what I mean by the terms. Now, as I understand pro-transposition, they want to make a distinction between your sex and then this other thing called a gender identity. And so they want to use pronouns to refer to that gender identity as opposed to your biological sex. So that's just not how I use the terms. And I'm honestly not sure what a gender identity is even supposed to be. I've never actually gotten a clear explanation of what it's supposed to be from someone. So, yeah, I don't really have an argument that you should or shouldn't be using the words this way or that way. I mean, you can use them however the heck you want. I just, when I use them, I'm referring to your sex. And if you're telling me these words should be used to refer to something else, please elucidate to me what that something else is supposed to be.
Okay, so when you say, when somebody says, "Hey, look, out of just, I know you said you're an a-hole, right? But, hey, like, just be friendly and courteous. And, I want to be called she or her or woman, and I'm a male. And the reason is because I think I'm feminine, or I have a collection of traits that historically have been associated with females. I'm not saying I'm a female. I'm saying that I'm a woman, right? And woman just means I have this, this collection of traits. And you could see them yourself, David. They might be wearing a dress. They might have, makeup on. I don't know, whatever, right? All these different things. Okay. Why would you be opposed to that?
Yeah, well, because I think it's reinforcing, sociological things that I don't particularly want. So, I like having a clear distinction between men and women. I like having a clear distinction between females. It feeds into a narrative that I don't like. I don't really see the utilities to it. And in some cases, I think it could be doing more harm. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
And I think that's actually the fairest response. I think that's a legitimate position. So I'd be curious those that are opposed to it, JJ or whoever.
I just think this thinking is ridiculous.
Okay.
And I actually don't even believe him, to be honest.
You believe people when they say, "Hey, call me this," but you don't believe him when he says this about himself, about what he believes.
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. He said that he uses pronouns that he thinks are appropriate for what he's looking at. And he said that if somebody corrects them, he won't give a fuck. So if somebody who let's just say Kim Kardashian walked up to you and you referred to this person as her, and you're corrected, and that person says, I'm he, him, you wouldn't give a fuck. You wouldn't change. Now, it might be that that's not actually Kim Kardashian.
I don't think people get the cherubim very well. I try to point them all to the story of Gan Eden. I just want to say worshiping statues.
Ribono Shalom. Good call, Megatron, on getting out of Buttercup and Andrew R's room. You know, there are just some things you can't. Hello? You can't entertain everything, right? And Clown House, it essentially, you know, because it is a conference call.
Enough, you can entertain everyone.
What are we doing?
Hello?
What's up? Are you complaining about a Clubhouse again? You
No,
can't
it
do
was
this.
just
You have
like
to
starting
switch it up.
shtick, you know.
Yeah, you have to.
I thought this was a complaint app.
The same shit.
People downloaded it
It's
to
not a
submit
complaint app.
complaints.
Go to Andrew's room.
Oh, okay.
Andrew's room. It
Thanks.
says grievances.
Thanks for. I
You
thought this
file
was
your
also a
grievances in there.
complaint room. My bad.
This is not we're not filing grievances in here. It doesn't say grievance on the top. I'm sorry. You can file your grievances with Andrew in Andrew's room. Thank you very much. So now, there's a few things here that the Christians are looking at here. We're looking at how we understand the Old Testament in reference to the coming of the Word becoming flesh, right? And we're also dealing with some heresies in the beginning that didn't see Jesus in the flesh, where he had his true presence, where there was true presence. So the tabernacle represents, this is what I mean. So Docetism would be the heresy of that Jesus was just spirit. He wasn't a man.
That's a fun kind of an argument. I like that one.
Yeah, so the Marcions and the Valentinians were the ones who, which, you know what's funny is that they had the first canon of the New Testament, the Marcions.
Makes sense.
And they had Luke, they didn't use.
Were they also of the opinion that because Jesus had only appeared to be like a person, that did they have any opinion about like iconography from that? Like, oh, don't make images or something?
No. But no, they were saying that there's a few heresies with that, and one is called fanaticism, where it was made to appear. Sound familiar? It was made to appear as if he was in front of everybody, but it was just
ghost mode.
It was yes. So because he was spirit, he couldn't die on the cross. He couldn't suffer.
Yeah. The whole thing was a sham. He was just like a fake person.
Well, real, but what they call an archon.
Okay, so then you're saying he's like a holographic projection of a cosmic being?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, and he comes to send this message from the one. So, like, he's jumping over the other gods in the demiurge.
Oh, here's a question.
And he's like,
the people that say Jesus is an archon, do they all say that there's like that bad blood between like the archons and the creator and some like?
Well, that's the thing. They look at the Old Testament God as the demiurge that doesn't know.
Right. I know. They say he's a bad guy.
Well, not bad guy. He just doesn't. He's
like a lumbering oaf. Like he's trying to do good, but that creates corruption. But then he also created something like amazing, kind of a thing.
He could never know the true God.
Right. There's one above that God, and the God of the Old Testament is like a condemned creature that never experiences the full divinity. So
Jesus comes as an archon to kind of, lead us in a
this is from like those Egyptians, right? They developed these, didn't they?
I think it stems from that, but then
like what country and era was this?
They're saying this Hellenistic. No, not Arab. It's not Arab. This is Hellenistic Judaism.
I'm not saying it's Arab. I think first of all, Egypt was Hellenized, dude.
Yeah.
Greeks are there. Cleopatra was Greek.
100%. That's why we call it Gnostic, because they're taking a totally different understanding of the whole text.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, notice where the influences come from. Like when people bring up Kabbalah, I tried to find the deepest roots of Kabbalah. There are like some references you can find from like earlier stuff, but the heyday, you're talking about Spain. You're talking about like a movement that started in Spain. That's the first like publishing records we have of the thing.
Yeah, so we're dealing with a few things here. We're dealing with that heresy of us not trying to identify Jesus this way. So he has to have his true presence. He has to be forsaken. You know what I mean? He has to be these things, right? And all these kind of arguments.
Right. So then they're like holographic image.
Right.
Yeah. So when a Protestant says, right, that they don't receive the Eucharist on every time or weekly or even time every time they go to Mass, right? Because they have no tabernacle, they have no true presence of God there at Mass. This would be if there's no tabernacle, there's no presence. It's just a meeting place.
I'll tell you this, the Archon argument, aside from the weird theological war they set up with like the demiurge and everything, that makes a better argument in terms of the hologram about the Eucharist being taken literally, right? Because if it's just a hologram from a cosmic being that never stops existing, then, he just also holograms on the crackers.
That's right. That would be just straight. But you're basically identifying the heresy. You're basically admitting.
You're saying I'm identifying the heresy. I feel like I'm making it compatible with a firm mainstream Catholic opinion.
All right, no, see, that's the whole point, Nick said.
Okay.
And that's the reason why I like speaking to you, because you're thinking, right, because of your framework, that you're making perfect sense. And me as a Catholic, I'm saying to you, no, that's the heresy. So that's why in the beginning I asked you to read.
You're saying that heresy is to think that the cracker is just exactly the same as the Jesus on the cross?
No, that's the true presence.
Right, that's the thing the Catholics are committed to.
Yes.
Right? And I'm saying if they're committed to the cracker being actual Jesus, then comparing the state of the cracker to the state of the body of the man Jesus on the cross is very Christian. It's very devoutly Catholic to do so. So when they say the man Jesus on the cross is just a holographic projection from a cosmic being, they're saying the same about the cracker, right? You see, they're downgrading or upgrading both. However, they're putting within the same category, so that then the Catholic doctrine of committing to the cracker being Jesus' body.
But you're missing the whole point.
Okay.
All right, because that's what I'm trying to tell you. They're using the Gospels of the second treatise of Seth. The second treatise of Seth. They're not using Paul. They use none of Paul's letters. They only use the Gospel of Luke, and they're using all the Gospels from the second treatise of Seth, which is I'll put it up here. I'll put the book up here because you read the link already, which I posted this book 1,000 times. But just so that you can go to the header and you can see what books are listed under the second treatise of Seth. And the second treatise of Seth, or the Valentinians, which they're more Neoplatonic than the Marcions. So the Marcions only use Luke. They didn't use any of Paul's letters. Paul was too Jewish for them.
That makes sense. The philosophers are going to try and stick with the Greek stuff.
Exactly. So they
that was a big debate at the time, whether or not to incorporate any of the Greek insights into, say, Levantine theology.
So there would be no reason for him to say, this is my body, this is my blood, if he has no flesh. This is what I'm trying to tell you, Nick. They're not.
No, because then he would say it's the same thing.
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. In the second treatise of Seth Gospel, they don't have a Last Supper.
So
it's Jesus laughing that they think it's Simon Peter on the cross, and he's laughing, saying they'll never get to me. They'll never,
Oh yeah, he's just like laughing with some other guys on the cross.
Actually, you want to? Yeah, actually, what I'll do is I'll give you the book.
Sounds like a real page.
No.
Can you imagine that?
No. At first,
like laughing with your boys.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. At first, it seems awful, right? But once you read it, but once you read it, you'll understand what he's saying.
Awful victory lap for a deity.
Let me look at the page. I think I'm a page on this.
Like an apocalypse. Is that an apocalypse, or is that just like one of the versions people don't
know? No. Go to page 469 in the book, not in the scroll. Go to page 4 in the book. So if you click on the book on the top,
they're all like pages. Just have 469 pages.
All right. What I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of it. Then you're such a baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Give me a second.
If you want to prove your point, don't ask me.
Hold on, all right. Hold on. Let me. Then you gotta give me a minute or two to screenshot the page.
I want to hear this story of Jesus just laughing with his homies on the sucker that's on the cross. That sounds really terrible.
Oh, look at that. When I open up my iBooks, that's the first page. I don't have to scroll. Give me
serendipitous.
Synchronicity. Serendipity. Why are you being a baby, like that? He's giving you something to read. Just read it.
Okay, that's the first page, and then you're just going to look at the second page because I have to put the other page up. These are the last page. So hold on. I mean, it's this one, which is not much. And then here, you can read it because I got to get my car out of parking. So start on the first page thing. Start in the middle where it says the plan will certainly not materialize. It's right in the middle of the page, and it's in like quotations. You can start reading from there, and then you'll understand what he's doing as he's sort of mocking them for trying to crucify him. It's really interesting, actually. I'm surprised you never read this stuff.
He's Jewish, Barth. He's not Catholic, you fucking idiot. How did you not read this?
Stuff either, so I probably do understand why you never read it.
Yeah. The trans grievances room is going strong. Andrew's power is immense. That room is unbelievable. So we got just a few more minutes here. I have changed my recording studio significantly.
Read it for us.
Read it, McZed.
Come on, here, look. You can run the show.
I'm driving.
Everybody's driving. Everybody's getting their kids out of school right now.
I'm going to be driving